Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at a company's knife who I've never looked at before. This is Klaken Knives. They have their YouTube channel, TikTok channel, Facebook, and their website. There's their logo. It's just like a kraken. You're not wrong to think that why would they use Kraken when their name is Klaken? Well, they've changed their name. They used to be Kraken Knives. I don't know why they've changed it. Could have been an intellectual property thing. Comes with a cleaning cloth and a belt sheath. Pretty basic stuff here. Nothing you haven't seen before. But it also comes with a pocket clip. So as far as that sheath goes, probably pretty useless. I think I would probably just carry this on my pocket if I was to carry it at all. We've got black G10 handles on here. They are recessed, so the liners are hidden from the top. No milling as far as lightening of the liners, as far as I can tell. So you're going to have the full amount of steel in there. Pretty hefty looking knife, pretty weighty. Let's take a look at the overall weight of this. You're looking at 3.8 ounces. So yeah, that's a pretty heavy knife for its size. There's obviously just the flipper style open. You get this orange pivot collar on the pivot screw. Nice little splash of color there. Pretty generic looking little clip there. Get good retention on it, and it is recessed with 2 screws holding it on. You get a lanyard tube. Just one other screw here at the top for the construction. And there you can see where it is recessed on this side, where the clip just fits into the plastic. It is a drop point style blade, about 3.5 inches in length, with the cutting edge very, very similar to that, maybe just a little less, about 1/4 inch less than that cutting edge wise. You don't really get much of a sharpening choil there, but this one is coated. Again, black G10 handles, kind of grippy, have some dimple texture to it, so it feels very good in the hand there. I actually asked for the non-coated blade, but they didn't have any in stock, so they sent me this black coated blade, but they also offered it in a jade handle, both coated and uncoated blade. But there's the big marketing point right there, the D2 steel, just $23.99, so that is a very good price for a D2 steel blade. Hardness is supposed to be 60 plus or minus 1. So should be in that right hardness range. There is their logo on the blade, but the only time you see the name on the blade is here on the pocket clip. Locks up well. You don't have any blade rock, not side to side or up and down. You have, you can see that that's very well centered, the liner lock on there. Releases well. I'm left-handed. I can still close this blade easy enough, no problems whatsoever. For righties, it should be even easier. Drop point shut. I mean, it very smooth action. This runs on ball bearings. Again, for $23.99, that's a pretty good feature. Very generic kind of style handle. Really not trying to make a splash with it, their design here. It's just contoured in a way that's comfortable in the hand. Does the job, works well. It's not, some hideous design. They just kind of kept it really straightforward, and I like that about it. The fact that it's just sort of not trying to do anything that might offend. And again, easy to open and close. All the QC things are there. You don't have any like little sticking points when it comes to just the basic operation of the knife. So they've asked me to do some performance tests on this a little bit. I'm gonna basically do some just real basic tasks. We're going to start out by looking at how well it pops through some paracord here. And then I'm going to cut open some bottles for funnels, just some basic tasks that you might do around the house. And then come back with another piece of paracord and see if it kind of performs in much the same way after all the cutting that I do. And I'm going to toss it around and abuse it a little bit. Maybe treat it in a way that Might be a little more abusive than the norm, but you know, that's kind of what they want me to do. So let's take a look and see how well this thing cuts. We're going to see if this pops through. It does not pop through, so it wouldn't be the sharpest knife I've ever seen. Even with the rock there, I get through it, but it's not going to just pop through it. Okay, yeah, with a little bit of a rock, I'm getting right through it, and you can see the paracord pieces just kind of falling off of there without me having to even tug on it or anything like that. So that's a pretty good sign. You have a pretty sharp blade there. Now, again, when you really have a sharp blade, you can just kind of go boop, and it'll just pop them off. But with a little bit of a rock there, it does the job. So we're going to see if it kind of performs the same way after I've done these other little tasks, and see if we're losing any edge retention on that after performing some work here. But I'm going to go get my other materials, and we'll come back. We'll cut through them, and then we'll test it on the other little piece of paracord. All right, we're still going to start out with this water jug. This is basic plastic here, and we're going to cut through. I'm just not really having any problem with this at all. I'm having more problem with it sliding on my... Yeah, you can see it's going right through there. Really don't have enough room to work. Not having any problem getting through this plastic. But probably not the thinnest knife behind the edge. Could probably be a little thinner behind the edge and make it for better slicer, but it did the job really without any problem. You can see it's cutting pretty clean through the plastic there. All right, we're going to give it a little more of a challenge with this little thicker style plastic. This is a little more rigid, so it's not flexing on it, and it's cutting right through that, no problem. So made quick work of that. Let's do another cut on that. Just puncture and then spin it, and it's going right through. No problem. Okay, so seems to have a pretty decent edge on it. This is a little more rigid. This is more of the Gatorade. It's a little more of a thick plastic. But again, doing a really good job with that. Just make a little funnel. We've got one more that we're going to do. Yeah, I just like to puncture, cut through. Really no issue for it. So, good little work knife. I don't see any problem using that for even heavier tasks. The blade retention seems to be there. But we're going to chop up some cardboard. Just do some more things that I would typically do in a day. This is going to be very awkward to try to do in front of the camera. Tell you what, we'll just do it like this. Let's see if we can get through the cardboard in like 2 slices. Didn't quite hit the edge. Yep. This is proving to be a little more of a challenge. Yeah, the thickness of the blade is probably not going to be the most suitable cardboard cutting knife. It just gets a little broad at the ends there. So maybe for cardboard, not the greatest knife I've ever used. I much prefer like the thinner. I've got a real steel Luna that I like to use. But you can get through it. It's just going to be a little more work. So we'll do that for a bit here. Just kind of try to dull the blade a little bit. You can see it's getting through 2 pieces of cardboard, but it does just kind of hang up because of the thickness of the blade. It works a lot better towards the tip. When you get back here towards the end, it doesn't want to slice as well. So yeah, not the greatest cardboard cutter, but it takes a special kind of blade really to perform really well on these kind of cuts. So yeah, I wouldn't say that's the greatest cardboard cutter in the world, but again, we're just looking to try to do the most basic stuff when you're just trying to get through a single layer of it. It'll do fine. You can see that's not getting quite all the way through there, but there you go. Just gives you a basic idea of what we're looking at here for performance on the cardboard. Looks like maybe the coating is held up, but I can see it's getting a little more matte finished in some certain spots. So eventually I would expect that it would kind of be uneven in appearance after a little more work with it. But let's see if we action's still there. Nothing went wonky on me. Blade wobbles all very solid still. Nothing that concerned me after using it. So good lockup still. You're not shaking out. That's what we want. All right, well, let's do a test on the paracord again, and let's just see if it's basically the same or if I've dulled that blade in use. And we're just going to try to cut them in the same way. Seems a little more dull now, doesn't it? I'm not getting all the way through the paracord with as much ease. You can see already I've lost a little bit of that edge retention. All these pieces I'm having to try to separate, whereas before they would separate themselves. So yeah, probably just needs a strop, a good little cleanup of the blade, and you'd be back to normal. So let's just take a look at that, and we'll see if a strop would bring it back. All right, I'll see if that was enough to bring it back. It was. That's all it really needs. Boom, we're cutting through there pretty much. Just hanging on by a thread there. Yeah, so that seemed to help. So yeah, just a little maintenance and you're back to where you started. Feel like for the money, hard to go wrong. $24. A very functional, very basic knife if you just wanted a nice type of knife to bang around with, and kind of be a beater. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, being made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.